Hello everybody. Bonjour à tous. Mon nom est Céline Ross et je suis une... Oh, I'm sorry, I was going in French. I'm sorry. My name is Céline Ross and I am an educator for Janome Canada. And today you are in Montreal. You're almost in Montreal in my sewing school. So the topic of today is the cording foot. So maybe you saw it before, maybe you'll learn something new from me. So I'll switch the camera and I'll demonstrate it for you. Okay, so you see my sample, okay? So cording foot, it tells you, it's to add, to couch, different ways of putting cording onto fabric. It's a decorating technique, I guess I should say. If you notice, I put my sample into a frame. This year is the 100th anniversary of Janome Tokyo and worldwide, of course. So I like to present my sample in a nice little frame that I made with my fabric, and I just insert my, I just have to insert my my samples inside. Okay, so it looks good. Okay, first we're going to study our foot. Okay, when you buy a foot, it comes in a blister pack. Okay, the Janome feet has letters to distinguish to name the foot. Okay, but behind there's a little just a little description how to use it, so never throw this away. It's made to help you to start your technique. So this foot, you can use it with 3 cord, 2 cord, and 1 cording or cord, okay, or thread or something thick. Okay, so what we have to do, I'll show you how I do it. So I use red because my thread is white. This is a finished, not finished sample, but it's a nice sample. I will use another fabric on the side here. What I like to do, I like to tie a knot at the beginning, so then they don't run away from you, and I slide them one by one inside the top groove, and you have that black holder here. You see, it's round, so you insert, but underneath you have the groove. It will keep them straight. So I go like this one by one. You can do it when the foot is attached, and you can do it when the foot is not attached. So either way is okay. The one that you are comfortable in the air is not as easy as when it's attached, but it's close for you to see. The close-up is more okay, 2 and 3. So I'm using the M7 today. The M7 is the Continental M7 is our newest machine. So you see, this is the wrong side of the foot. Okay, this is the right side of the foot. So I'm not losing them because I tied the knot at the beginning. And you know that we have snap-on feet done, and then I can pull a little bit just to take to start good. And as always, okay, I use my thread holder on the left side of the machine. So I'm using the M7 as I told you, and I prepare some, you always practice before you do anything. So I prepare a piece of fabric, number 1 always put interfacing, okay? Stabilizer, I should say, not interfacing, stabilizer. Okay, sometimes I have to change the way change my word. So I practice something here to show you that we don't have to go straight. You know, you can go, you can move your your fabric. Okay, but I'll go straight here just to make sure. So let's go to the machine. Okay, I'll use the stylus, and I guess you are familiar with the satin stitch. So I don't know the real word in English, but we call them the stairs, you know, 3 steps, 2 steps, stairs, okay? Either one, you can use them, okay? 3 chord, of course, I'll use the triple one. 2 chord, of course, logical, I will use the second one. But with the M7, we have something specific. It's called application. I should show you the t-shirt. The t-shirt is the application. Let me zoom a little bit for you. Okay, so here is my t-shirt, and my t-shirt, this is my sewing, my quilting, and my optional feet. And the H foot is sometimes optional. It depends which machine, but most of the time it's an optional foot. Okay, here I'm with 9mm sewing machine, so I have the 9, but I know it exists in 7 because we had that previously with other machine, and also it exists in 5mm. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to do cording. So the machine suggests me some stitches. When I'm in the application, I don't have to think, okay? The machine think for me. So I just have to choose whatever stitch I like. But that doesn't, this is a good start, but this is not the only thing you can do. We can go into decorative stitches and choose other kind of stitch. So here is my 3 level, I don't know how to say, okay? And of course I will not go that fast. I hope you realize the screen is in the way, the camera is in the way. So I want to put my foot down just to make sure that I will really be careful, and I go. When this is a decorative stitch, when in all the Janome machine, the decorative stitches, I have my foot control, decorative stitches always start with a lock stitch, okay, and then I can go, okay. So it's sewing 3 level, and you see everything is in at the right place. My 3 chords are aligned really evenly spaced, okay. And if I want, I can move also my fabric. I can draw a design and follow it like I did here. I didn't draw here, I just follow it, okay. So I'll stop, okay. Lock stitch, it'll finish is sequence, and I'll explain the sequence later on, okay. So my needle stays down because it was programmed this way. Now I want to use my 2 level, okay. Everything is pre-programmed. So what do I have to do? I have to remove the cording in the center, and I keep going. You can go fast, no problem. I'm using, you know, to do cross stitch by hand, I'm using this type of cording, but I'll show you something else after, you know. So hold on till the end, and I will still use the lock stitch. Lock stitch finish the sequence of the decorative stitches, okay. Lock stitch, I'll use my thread cutter, and I can clip the cords here, and here's my here is the technique, okay. So 3 level, 2 level here. Okay, everything is lined up perfectly straight. So okay, so what did I use? I can use in French we say de la flaze, but it's for needle point. Okay, some type of yarn, wool. And you know, if we sew since many years, we have older thread, older collection, we never throw anything. I can use them also. Everything that I like and that's nice, it suits to this technique. They have to fit inside. Don't use them too big. If they're too big, you're going to damage this black holder on top, okay? In Montreal, we have a nice boutique. It's called the Dollar Store. So these are perfect to use. I guess you have them in the US also, or everywhere around the world. So these are perfect, and this is what I used here. Okay, you see them. You can use different color, the same color, but for the purpose of the demonstration here, I'm using red because it's Janome, and the fabric is white, and I decorate with white fabric. But there's more. There's always more with Janome. So let me show you my sample. Okay, if I go back to my machine, I don't want to use my t-shirt as the application. I'm coming in my decorative stitches. Those stitches are in that category, satin category, and I have those 2 stitches. Like I said before, I can use other stitch, but I'll show them to you after. Here, what I like, when I select one design, I can go to adjust, because we have the elongation function, and this is what I did here. I can use the same stitch once or twice longer, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times longer, but I can also adjust the width until 9 millimeter for this machine, and I can change also the length to have a closer stitch. So maybe now you will understand my sample better. Okay, so regular stitch, longer elongation, okay, elongation, and the width is changed. So for you to understand better, this is the stitch without the cording, because we can use those stitches without the cord. So you see my 3 level is regular as soon as I touch the design, then twice as longer, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. But you will tell me, hey, how come this one is shorter if it's 5 times longer? Well, you see what I did here? I changed my stitch length. So 4, 4, 5, 5. I'm sorry. Okay. So elongation is one of the nice function that will change your stitches. Okay. So do you know what a sequence here? A sequence of a decorative stitch. For you to understand, I better thread my machine with red thread. Okay, so it's not long because it's easy to thread. Okay, so I just follow, you don't see up, but here, whoops, hold on. Okay, let's thread now. I can keep this foot to show you what I want to teach you. Okay, so I showed you 3, 2, then later, but I want to show you what a sequence is. Okay, so I'll go back to my stitch. This is the stitch. I want one sequence. So what do? Open my memory, ask one sequence. I don't want any more. Lock stitch. And what's happening? Whoops, that's true. I use a start stop, but I have the foot control on. So I can go fast without a problem. The machine for sure will do only one because I ask only one. Okay, so this is one sequence. You see? One sequence. It will sew a complete stitch. I can do this with every decorative stitches from an electronic machine. Okay, as usual, I always put my upper thread into the thread holder. Okay, so now I'm going to transform that stitch. Okay, I'm going into the changes, this tab. Okay, let's say I want it 3 times longer, elongation 3, and I change nothing else. The next step, I will make other changes here, and you know this arrow brings you back to your previous one window. Now, okay, even if I'm going fast, I have no problem because I put the auto lock. Okay, cut my thread. Okay, so you see, same thing, but 3 times longer. But then you say, oh, I'd like this closer. So for you to understand really what I mean, okay, I will change the stitch length, and I will change, just for fun, enlarge at the maximum. And what I'm doing for this stitch, I can do for all the stitches in the machine. Okay, so again, in the holder, I was surprised to realize that a lot of people didn't know that we have a thread holder with the Janome sewing machine. Okay, so still stitch length, still one stitch, but wider, and the stitches are closer, more dense. Okay, look, one sequence, one sequence, one sequence, regular stitch 1, okay, 3 and 3. So of course, if I short the stitch length, my design will be I'll have the same amount of stitches, but they'll be closer to them, and we'll have a nicer, fuller satin stitch. Of course, you use them according to the thickness of the fabric. If you use a thick fabric, don't do this. The machine will stay into place. Okay, so there's another function that this foot is doing. So I did 3, I did 2 cord. Now, why 1 cording? Okay, this is really helpful. If you have a thick fabric, this is denim, okay, but it's not the thin one, it's the real heavy one. You can see it's a 14 ounces thick. Okay, let's say you want to use well, it's the summertime, so you want to do your cushion for the patio. You want to should I say refurbish, you refresh your cushion. Okay, you understand what I mean, huh? So, but the cushions are round. How will you gather? If I use only the thread, of course, this is upholstering fabric, very thick, and there's a coating at the back. Okay, so I don't want this to be I don't want my thread breaks easily. So what I will do is I will use my same whoops, hold on. Okay, I will use the same, oh my goodness, I will use my cording. Okay, and sorry, I will insert in the middle. Of course, I do this on the wrong side of the fabric, and what I'll do something round here to, you know, to make it look like the end of the cushion. But I will not use those decorative stitches. Okay. In the utility stitches, you have, this is not a zigzag. We call it lightning in French. It's, if I translate, it's point éclair, lightning stitch. You know, it's in not in zigzag. So I will use that stitch, but my cord is thick, so I can change the stitch length and the stitch width with these numbers here, or on the side it goes faster. So I'll enlarge the width to 2 and the length to 3. No, 3.5. Okay, I don't want too many stitches. What I want to do here, I don't want to sew the cord, I want to sew around the cord. I need to pull this after to gather the fabric. So okay, see, I'm going over, so I didn't change my thread because you realize you will see better. Okay, and then round corner, you see the black guide holds the cord into place, so I have no problem. So I'll stop with my lock stitch. I'll clip, no, I want to leave some cording, cut my thread with the thread cutter, and then I just have to gather my fabric. Look at this, how easy it is, and it is strong. And then you will, if you gather too much, you know, you can adjust after, huh? Okay, and then you iron. But look how easy it would be to cover or refresh your cushion or anything, you know, in the house that you need. So it's a little bit it needs to be ironed, but you'll see the result here. Okay, and of course after you have to cut the excess like I did here. You have to clip the excess, huh? So this foot is a decorating tool, and it's a useful, I hope I'm saying right, huh? It's a helpful tool. Okay, I'll show you. I hope you'll see well. So you see this polar fleece, the decoration is made with 2 cords with elongation because it stretches, huh? So I put some around different places and around the hem also, just to decorate. My machine, my M7 is in a sewing table. This table is the right table for the M7. Okay. One thing I would like to add to that technique. Okay. Sometimes, you know, if I look at this thread is thin. Okay, it's size 12, so it's not that big, and this one here is a little bit bigger. So let's say you have a lot of thin thread, so you can make your cording if you want. I'll show you the trick. Okay, so you need a good length. This is what I did. This is what I did here. Okay, I hope you can really, oh yeah, you see well, you can see well the thickness of the cording. So I'll use the same one. Cut. Okay, then I really hope you don't know this technique, and then you'll say, oh, Céline is so good. Oh, okay. So what I did is cut a good length, okay? Make a knot, okay? The other end is double, is not a knot. And then you take a Janome bobbin. You know that Janome bobbin, what it is, huh? Janome bobbin is a bobbin that has a J inside. It has a special, I will say rubber or resin, and it's a better quality. Don't, you know, buy the real one. Don't go and buy you know, in a popular or I would say fake. Okay, so inside the middle, okay, my thread is there. Okay, this is my bobbin winder, and I hold my cord on the top. Okay, my cord I'm holding, but I'm holding straight, and then look at this, it's spinning, it's twisting my cord, and of course it shrinks. I'll stop. Whoop. Stop. Okay, and then I remove everything from the whoops. Okay, I remove everything. I take my two hands and I just look how twisty it is, and then I let go. I have a new cord. Look at this. It is really beautiful. To do this, I use a variegated thread, but you know, we have thread since many years. We collect them. Some are good, some are not up to date anymore, some are we don't like the color. Put them all together, tie them, and spin them. I hope I'm saying right. Spin them on your bobbin winder. You know that Janome has clear J bobbin, has blue, pink, and red. Okay, you know this. Another thing that Janome is really helpful for you, will give you a lot of help, is the presser foot book. And if you want to see how to use the cording foot, well, this Janome has Janome America for sure, because Janome Canada is buying for Janome from Janome America. Specialty feet addendum, and you have 4 pages on the 3-way cord, 2-way cord, and 1-way cord. It's the H foot. So you be careful when you buy. Huh? Do you buy the 7mm, the 9mm, the 5mm? So when you go to your dealer, make sure you tell them your machine model. Okay, so here you see some other cording and the finishing project, the test project. Okay, to show sequence, to show elongation, to show stitch width, stitch length, different stitches that you can add, and 3-way, 2-way, 1 cording. Okay, so I hope I'm okay for my time. So I'll switch the camera. Okay, I'm there. Okay, so I want to take this opportunity. I want to thank you for watching me during these short demonstration. Okay, I was surprised to read all your comments from around the world. It made me realize that you appreciate, like me, good sewing technique and nice decoration. You don't want to be like everybody else. You want to look different, and you want to make something different. So we have all the products here. Okay, this is a new experience for me to teach in English, live, Facebook, for Janome America, and I thank them to give me this opportunity. I really feel that you are all my student. You know, when we translate, it's like the tongue is not twisting the right way in our mouth, okay? So I want you to remember that I feel that you are all my student, and you have a friend, a sewing friend in Montreal. So like we say in French, au revoir,